When coming up with the title for this documentary, like everything else, I go into a creative process. The first picture that came to my head was somebody being released from prison or any sort of institution and finding himself asking that one question: what's next? What do I do? Where am I going? I came up with, the halfway there. It's like a crossroad. Do you have what it takes? Do you have the willpower? Are you willing to embrace the challenges, endure the rejections, accept all the no's? And we just hope that, somebody in similar situations will get inspired, that a family member, a wife, a husband may have someone in their life that, they're almost about to give up on, and, watch this film and say, wow, there's a lot of hope in this film, and it's nothing short of a miracle what you're about to witness.
How you guys doing? My name is David Cardona. Today makes 90 complete days that I've been returned back to society. I was a high security risk inmate, so I got sent to a lot of places, pretty much the worst of the worst camps, level 7s, level 5s. I come from a very poor neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York, and I always wanted more. And in the process of trying to accumulate the things that I didn't have, I got myself into trouble. And every time I got myself into trouble, I found a way to rebel. The problems just kept compiling on top of each other. About 180 days before my release date, I got diagnosed with pre-release anxiety disorder, which the psychiatrist said was normal because of the amount of time that I did while I was in prison. I didn't think there was anything normal about it. I was actually scared to come home because I knew that I wouldn't get another opportunity to live as a free man if I didn't take and embrace the opportunity that I'm given now. There's no real preparation for when you're coming home from a prison bid. They pretty much offer you a bus ticket and wish you good luck.
There's something about an underdog, somebody who's been in the depths of hell and can come out of that place and not become normal nor average, but become a beacon of light and hope, and somebody that nobody ever imagined that they can be.
I've been to a lot of prisons in a lot of different states, and I've been to both agencies. Florida State, no lie, hands down, was by far the worst prison system. You ever watched the movie Life with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy? That's what that felt like. It was literally, you went from the 21st century into the 19th century prison system in Florida. Most prison systems that I've been to operate under 4 systems. You got your camps, your lows, your mediums, and your maximum security. So they mix it by your time or length of prison sentence you're gonna do. So if you're gonna do a 1 to 3, 2 to 5, 3 to 6, you're usually with that level of inmate, right? So the mentality is the same. We got an open date to go home. Then you got your mediums, that's, the 5 to 10, 4 to 12, stuff like that, right? And then you have your maximum securities for people that got 15 and above. Florida don't. You can have an 18-month sentence. They'll put you in the prison system with a guy that got a life sentence. So what do you think happens? When does re-entry start? The system, they give you a 30-year sentence. You do 27 and a half years of those. You adapted a style of living in that type of world, right? But when you're about to get released, they give you 6 weeks to say, hey, you gotta do a re-entry program. how to get your life together, how to go apply for a driver's license, how to go get an ID, how you should act, how you should talk, right? Resources that's not really available to you, and they expect you to come home after you've been institutionalized for 28 years in prison, and no one actually told you, yo, pick up a book, get an education, learn some stuff about yourself, start working on yourself, right? Start building up a plan, because you can't really see that. So in 6 weeks, you're expecting a person that did, 10, 15, 20, 30 years to come out on the street and be successful. It's like you get stuck in a traffic jam and you don't know which way to go.
I came in a misdirected youth and I left a criminal. I had a criminal mindset, and actually I was worse than when I first came in. My name is Ignacio Calderon from VIP Reentry and the Circle of Brotherhood. 30 years ago, I was the first one in my family to go to college on a 4-year football scholarship. And 1 year after, I was the first one in my family to go to prison. My poor choices and poor associations landed me doing almost 12 years. They say that this place either makes you or breaks you, and it usually don't make you. I saw a movie called Life of a King. That was a true story about someone who had did 17 years and he got out and he did good things in the community.
Y'all gotta start paying attention, man. In here and in life. Because out in the streets, it's not checkmate. It's incarceration, it's wheelchair.
I said, wow, I want to do that. So I volunteered my time and my effort at a place here in Miami, and what started as a volunteer turned into my life calling and my passion. I was motivating some youth at the Miami-Dade boot camp, and I told them one day I'm gonna have my own reentry program, but I was just talking, so I thought I was just talking. VIP Reentry just started as a thought. When I was released 22 years ago, there was no reentry. I just woke up one day and said, I can do this.
Everything is like, you want to get your GED, here's a book, study, you take your class. You want to learn a trade, it's okay, here's a book and learn a trade. And you expect them, people with a lower education level in the system, self-educate themselves when they can't even properly pronounce certain words. I signed up for a college course called ICANN. And it stands for Inmates Change and Alternative Networking. It was a 3-year course. So I figured this would keep me busy, this would keep me out of trouble and focused. And so that's when I just started to educate myself and take all these classes on criminology, criminal thinking, emotional intelligence, money marketing, money financing. I literally just dove in, and then that's when I came up with my vision plan for success to coming home. There was something more, and I was always just looking to make little investments. And when we started our business, everybody literally told us that we was crazy. It wasn't gonna work, but we took a chance and a gamble with our own money, and now we turned the regular, typical idea concept of a halfway house, but for primarily mental health, into what it is now.
The reentry is crucial.
Baby, re-entry.
So we just came out of Everglades Correctional. Just let them know how it went in there and how you felt coming back.
Man, it felt great coming back to see the same brothers that you did time with, that you trying to help set a positive example and help let them know that this is what real life is all about, man. Out here doing the right thing, out here getting out here and sticking to your plan. And if you don't have a plan, you need to get one, because you can do it, man. It's talent in there, it's smarts in there, and they need coaching to get out here on these streets and be successful, man.
When these individuals get out, they need help. And the way it's been going is where we're, as a society, in this world, they get released and there's no kind of assistance. And one of the things, when I started back in 1991, I would see that. I would see where somebody was with us inside the facility and the next day they would come back. And it goes back to not having a reentry coach for every individual that gets out. Basically, we're saying you're on your own, do whatever you need to do, and if you come back, we're okay with that also. And there needs to be a breakup with that style of them doing things on the individuals that are getting out.
In the last year of my incarceration, I was shipped to a private prison. I was fortunate enough to be enrolled in the reentry program before my release. I was very scared, very anxious, very worried. So much has changed in the last 2 decades. Everything's on your phone. You order with your phone, you pay for it with your phone, you turn it on and off with your phone. These are things that just didn't exist when I went to prison. Uber was an app that didn't exist. And when I got into the cab, the Uber, I realized that I didn't have any money in my pocket. All I had was a $50 gift card that the Department of Corrections gave me. And just that alone, I was like, hey, hold on, wait. You need to stop. I didn't have money to pay for the fare. And the Uber driver was like, wow, where'd you come from? That's been paid for 10 minutes ago when I picked up the ride. So that was just, I was like, wow. He's like, yeah, they gave me a tip and everything. So it was a real culture shock just right out the gate. I took advantage of every opportunity that was presented to me. But you gotta have the mindset and know what you want. You gotta set small-term goals and long-term goals. The idle mind is a dangerous thing. I came from being in a structured environment for a very long period of time, and to be able to be handed over all of this freedom, and it can be quite overwhelming. But I'm constantly doing something so that my mind doesn't get the same stinking thinking mentality that caused me all the heartache and pain before I was a man of God.
I told the assistant warden a year and a half ago that we needed a dorm, and I was just once again talking, and it came into existence to wake up and to have positive affirmations on the wall, to have different paintings, different colors, you know, that you're not waking up just in the prison mindset. Even though they are in prison, they don't have to, you know, be in prison. And one thing I always like to tell them is that they can lock you up physically, but they can't lock you up mentally. So our goal is to free them mentally, so when they get out, they can continue to stay out. We're giving you the tools, the support, and the pathway to be successful, because it's not something that someone told us or that we read in a book. It's something that we're living. Not that we've lived, we're living daily, and we could only do it together. And we want to be that change that is needed in the reentry system, because the system has been doing the same thing for 30 years, and we're grateful for our partners in Department of Corrections that are understanding that and are giving us the opportunity. We're just looking to do what we came to do, and that's to transform lives through trial and error. What I've gained is a lot of knowledge and lived experience. There's a lot of individuals doing reentry. We came up with a solution saying that we're gonna be a mobile reentry center. Before they're released, we meet them and we get to know each individual that we're gonna service. We're gonna come and meet the people at their needs inside the prisons, and once they are released, we assign them a reentry coach. And no one in Miami-Dade County has that. And having a reentry coach that has been there and done that and now is successful is the key to our success. We don't want to be a jack of all trades and master of none. We want to master one. VIP is not about me. VIP is about we. VIP is a mentality that we are not our past mistakes, that we are more than we believe we are. Given the opportunity, we can do more than we think we can do. And I'm just a small proof of that. And every day I strive to do better and help my community on the inside and the outside.
As a court officer for the Miami-Dade Boot Camp program, not only was I was the officer taking a plea inside the courtroom, I wore a lot of hats. You know, we're talking about individuals with needs, and that opened myself to see what other areas were needed. And because of that, it has extended to what I'm doing now.
I think the biggest hurdle, it's employment, but even bigger than employment, it's uplifting these men and women, encouraging them. If you can start working on their mindset and showing them and, you know, guiding them and, you know, into understanding that the hits are coming, but you don't have to lay down every time you get hit. you know, maybe after that they can get, you know, into, you know, looking for jobs daily, not, you know, one time and then, you know, laying down.
I surround myself with people that either inspire me, motivate me, or uplift me. And that's what I needed. After a while sitting back and you're looking at your life and you're going, you know, man, I've been in and out my whole life, and every time it was like, you're sitting in there and you're like, you don't get that letter from your homeboy, you don't get that letter from that chick, you don't get no pink slip, no one is thinking about you, no one is lining up to come get, you know, a visit, but yet these be the same people that I come home and I want to run to. So I started associating and more gravitating with people that I can look at and be like, damn, I know he's been like, through shit like I've been, but he's doing good, he's doing great. Let me associate with him. Let me admire him. Let me talk to him. Let me find out how can I get motivated to that point. So we all have to have somebody champion us and motivate us, and also believe in us. Because sometimes we have that self-doubt, right?
Everybody's always wanting and rushing to get out. They want to be free, you know. And I never say the free world, because there's nothing free out here. You know, I call it the real world, where there's real problems, you know, but it's really good and it's just real. So prison system is set up as a one-way street. They tell you what to do, when to do, and how to do it. Out here in society, it's a two-way street. You have to do it. When nobody's gonna feed you, nobody's gonna clean your clothes, nobody's gonna give you a place to stay, you have to work for it.
We're here in a mission, in transforming lives. This is only the beginning. To make that impact and start local here within Dade County. But that mindset is the one that we want to transform throughout the state of Florida. It's all a matter of time.
For the ones that change, we want to assist them with the process, because sometimes it only takes one person to change the direction of someone's life, and we plan on being that one person. This is not a job for me. This is a lifestyle. This is something that, you know, that I wake up to every morning. Everybody thinks that we're transforming people's lives, we're helping others, and the truth of the matter is that by doing this, it's transforming my life and my family.
You gotta want it. You gotta put in the work. And one thing I know, that if it's worth having in life, it's gonna take hard work and commitment, but the opportunities are there. You just gotta grab them. You gotta want them. You gotta be in an uncomfortable situation in order to grow and better yourself. Because if you stay in that safe haven, that bubble, you'll never expand your horizons. It's out there. The best is yet to come, I can assure you.
Dear God, it's me again. Been a long time since I wrote you, but here I am at the crossroads of regret, and pain is right next to her. We have done again a few times before, falling with no trampolines to land, or nothing to soften the fall. This shit hurts, and expression is not coming easy, but anger is. Just when I thought life was great and love would heal us, the devil used us with lies to ourselves. No need for sorries now. I've overcome addiction, years of incarceration and death of loved ones, but this one took the wind out of me, for real. I forgot what pain felt like, but more importantly, I forgot what you have turned my pain into fuel numerous times. There's no storm that I have faced that you haven't put the wind on my back. Halfway there is better than starting again. So as I paint and write, the anger and sorrows ease, but the consequences of the actions don't. It may be years before I can get all my breath back, but I'll take what little bit I can get now and be grateful for it. Again is a deep, dark place for some of us, where failure greets us. A marriage failed, a loss of a job at a critical time, a relapse from drugs, alcohol, the loss of a dear friend, a medical issue, a death of a loved one. Sometimes it comes because life sucks, and sometimes by our choices. Either way, we're there, all the same, meeting with again. He has no mercy, but God does. So my friends, I tell you, put the bat down. There's no worse prison than the one in our minds. and I have recited them both. I'm no scholar nor that smart. As a matter of fact, I'll most likely meet again. And he will know I don't fight fair, because life wasn't fair to me. And I'm coming like a Spartan 300 with no retreat, no surrender. Don't wait for a release or discharge date. Whether in prison or a rehab, release yourself. We're no longer in bondage if we claim it and believe it. I've had the honor to work with some great men who have come to me, you know, at the lowest level of their lives, beaten, broken, and like I did, busted and disgusted. But it's a beautiful thing, you know, and it gives me strength and gives me the ability to continue to believe in what I do when I see somebody, you know, grab the bull by the horns and say, by all means necessary, I'm gonna change my life, I'm gonna get what I deserve, and I'm gonna be an example. You know, if they can put that chip on their shoulder and run with it, you know, I got their backs, man. You know, that's what we do.